Are you ready to discover the meaning of the Devil Tarot card? Well, in this video, I'm going to reveal exactly what this card means in any kind of tarot reading, whether it's about love, career, finance, spirituality, or just a simple general reading. Plus, I'm going to show you how to interpret this card when it's upright or reversed. So that way you will never get stuck on this card in a reading again. So let's dive in. Now, the devil represents your shadow self, your attachments, addictions, and limitations. And this card shows the Baphomet, or the horned goat of the Mendes, and it's a creature that is half man, half goat. And Baphomet originally represented the balance between good and evil, male and female, and human and animal. And more recently, this figure has actually been linked to the occult and has become a bit of a scapegoat, excuse the pun for the scapegoat bit, but for all things that are considered evil. Now, the devil has the wings of a vampire bat, and this is an animal that sucks the lifeblood out of its prey, and it symbolizes what happens when you give in to your raw desires. So it's a little bit gruesome, but really the symbolism behind it is very, very strong. Now, this half man, half goat raises his right hand in the Vulcan salute. And this is actually a Jewish blessing that was later made famous by the film series Star Trek. Now, in his left hand, he holds a lit torch, and at the foot of the devil stands a man and a woman, and they're both naked, and they are chained to the podium on which the devil sits. Now, here's the thing. They appear to be held here against their will, right? But if you look a little bit closer, you'll notice that the chains around their necks are actually loose. They could easily remove them if they wanted to. Now, notice that each of them has small horns on their head, just like the devil's. So this is a sign that they are becoming more and more like him the longer that they stay there. Now, they also both have tails, which signifies their animalistic tendencies and those raw instincts, while the fruit and the fire on their respective tails signifies pleasure and lust. Now, the devil card represents your shadow or your darker side, and those negative forces that are constraining you and holding you back from being the best version of yourself. And it's a sign that you may be under the influence of negative habits, dependencies, behaviors, thought patterns, relationships, and of course, addictions. So you're kind of trapped between this short-term pleasure and long-term pain cycle. And just like the Lovers card speaks to duality and choice, so too does the devil. And you notice that there's actually quite a lot of similarity in the imagery of both of those cards. But here's the thing, because with the devil, you're choosing the path of instant gratification, even if it's at the expense of your long-term well-being. So you could say that in effect, you've sold your soul to the devil. Now, here's the thing. The devil card often appears when you wrongly think that you've got no control over your shadow self or these negative forces, and that you can never break free from their hold. Now, you think you need it and you must have it, even if it means going against what you know to be right to obtain it. Because deep down, you know that caving into these lower needs and these desires is to your detriment, and it's doing a disservice to yourself and often others. Now, to break free from these negative patterns, you need to acknowledge the hold that they have over you and the impact that they're having on your life. So, for example, the first step of Alcoholics Anonymous is an admission. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol, that our lives had become unmanageable. So, my friend, when the devil shows up in a tarot reading, see it as an opportunity to bring these negative influences into your conscious awareness, where you can take action to then free yourself from their hold. And this card is asking you to shine your light on these negative patterns that have been standing in your way for so long. And over time, they will start to loosen the grip that they have on you. Now, given that the devil is a major arcana card, this probably won't happen overnight, and it's going to take a lot of willpower and strength to free yourself from their influence. But know this, it is possible, and it is up to you to make it happen. So you can do this. Now, on the positive side, the devil can also show a powerful attachment between two people, maybe like from a mum and a newborn, or a romance that's still in the honeymoon phase. But be careful though, because with the devil card, this healthy attachment attachment can turn into an unhealthy, codependent relationship if you lose connection with your inner guidance or you don't protect your personal boundaries. Now, finally, the devil can represent sexuality and your wild side, and you may be exploring bondage, fetishes, your deepest, darkest fantasies. And if you can do this within a safe, sacred space, it can actually be very enriching. However, it does have the potential to turn into something that may be unsafe or detrimental to your well-being in the long term. So again, make sure you set those clear boundaries, choose your partners wisely, and have your safe words ready to go. Now, when it comes to relationships and love, if you are single, you are no doubt enjoying an active sex life with multiple partners, and your interactions are fueled by lust and raw attraction, maybe instead of like really deep love or mutual connection. So expect one-night stands, hot and passionate affairs, lots of flirtatious behavior. Now, you may be reveling in this energy, or you might actually be growing a bit tired of what feels like meaningless relationships and sexual encounters, and instead you crave something really different. Now, if you're in a long-term relationship, the devil card can indicate an unhealthy codependency. There could be issues of abuse, addiction, even an imbalance of power. Often this card will appear when there's little that can be done but to end this unhappy relationship if it's not serving you well. And remember, you always have choices. Now, sometimes though, the devil can represent a tight bond between two individuals. So look for those other cards in the reading, like the Lovers or the Two of Cups, to see if there is that positive connection, and also tune into your intuition to see if that relationship is in alignment with your highest good. Now, when it comes to career, work, and finances, sometimes the devil can suggest the kind of golden handcuffs that we can have, these financial incentives that discourage you from leaving the company, even if you're not feeling connected to that company. It can also reflect that you feel trapped in a job that you dislike, but you can't see a way out because of the job security and the financial rewards that come with it. So you're being asked to consider whether these trade-offs are actually worth it, given the negative impact on your personal well-being. And remember, often you can negotiate better pay conditions elsewhere, and you might even have more freedom than you realize. Now, financially, you may find yourself bound by contracts or agreements that restrict you from accessing your funds or finances when in need. So make sure that you read all of the fine print before signing yourself over, and also make sure that you don't get caught out. And be wary too of overspending or getting yourself into too much debt that you cannot control or repay, because the consequences of such excess are likely to be unpleasant and you'll receive minimal support to get you out of trouble. Now, in a spiritual reading, the devil shows that you need to free yourself from your limiting beliefs and your negative patterns. You're giving in to your short-term needs and desires at the expense of your inner well-being and fulfillment. So tune in to your internal guidance system and stay aligned with your higher self to make better choices. And you may also be constructively exploring your shadow self. And the card reflects that by understanding your darker side and your negative behaviors, you can actually free yourself from their grip. Now, what if you see the devil reversed in your tarot reading? Well, this card can often appear when you're on the verge of a breakthrough or an up-leveling, and you're being called to your highest potential. But first, you must let go of any limiting beliefs or unhealthy attachments like an addiction or an unhealthy relationship before you can fully step into this new version of yourself. So let go of any fear, release any self-imposed limiting beliefs standing in the way of your growth, and know that it's actually easier than you realize. Now, the reverse devil also calls on you to eliminate those things that you know are harmful to you and your inner psyche. So it may be about creating a healthier diet, watching less TV, quitting smoking, spending more time with your loved ones, or focusing more on your goals. You can take this opportunity to bring about positive change in your life by staying focused on the ultimate goal of freedom. Now, the devil reverse can also appear when you are going into your deepest, darkest places, whether or not you are ready. Now, when you take this path consciously, you can do so with strength, confidence, and courage, and you seek to understand your innermost shadows. So you can either release them or integrate them into your life in a more constructive way. But when you do it unconsciously or with some resistance, it can actually be very confronting, as you may begin to realize that you're very different from who you thought you were. So you may be entering this period of a little bit of anxiety or depression, or experiencing some dark thoughts as you struggle to understand yourself. Now, if this resonates, please seek out a trained therapist to help you work through this time. Now, the reverse devil may also be a sign that you are hiding your deepest, darkest self from others, and you're keeping it a secret. So maybe you've got thoughts, fantasies, addictions, or habits that you don't want others to know about because you feel embarrassed or ashamed. But here's the thing, sometimes holding on to the secrets can actually contribute to a growing level of guilt, and you may feel a sense of relief if you can share your darker self with at least one trusted individual. On another level, there's also a need to accept who you are and forgive yourself for the thoughts that you have. And of course, if you're at risk of harming yourself or others, again, please seek professional help immediately. Finally, the devil reversed invites you to practice the Buddhist principle of detachment. And this is a state in which you can overcome your attachment to the desire for things, people, or concepts in the world, and you can free yourself from any restrictions. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't care for people or things, but that you release your dependence on them. And you may find that a cord cutting visualization really helps to release any unhealthy attachments to others. Now, if you want to learn more about the tarot cards and what they mean, then I've got something really special for you. It is my tarot card meanings reference guide, and it's absolutely free. All you need to do is click on the link below to get instant access, and you will never go blank in a tarot reading again. And of course, if you want to learn more about how to read tarot in a more modern and approachable way, there's so much more for you to explore here at Biddy Tarot, because we've literally helped millions of people around the world to develop their tarot skills, read the cards with confidence, and we would love to help you do the same. So take the next step in your tarot journey by clicking below. Bye for now. Hey, if you loved this video, then make sure you check out this next video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you next time.